Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob from Rob's Dirty Knives. Today I have a quick video on my 5 most carried knives since my last video on this. And it's kind of a tough one because, I've been looking at a lot of different knives, but these are the ones that really kind of have stood out and I've carried a bit more than normal. And there's others that I love to carry. They just they just didn't make the rotation for this last period of time. So let's get right into it. My number one most carried is probably this Kunwoo Tau S. So if you're familiar with this one, this is the sheep's foot Kunwoo Tau. It is in Pena X steel. I don't know if you can see that, which is really a wonderful stain-resistant steel. And man, the action on this puppy is just ridiculous. And it's got a fuller for deployment, and you can flip it open, and the ergonomics on this knife is just ridiculous. You can see the milling, it's orange peel there, but then the milling texture on where they chamfered the edges is really, really nice. A little mokutai, kind of a, I guess, Timascus, whatever, pivot collar, and T8 screws all around except for the steel insert and the, I guess this is a wire clip channels that you have. Now I was able to fit a Spyderco Lynch clip, a Spyderco wire clip replacement clip in there. It works. Now you have to file down the wired part of the Lynch clip because they're just a little too wide. The channels in here are a little thinner in tolerance than typical Spyderco. So just something to keep in mind. It does work, and I really like this a lot better than the wire clip. I'm not a huge wire clip fan. I get the benefit. It's definitely very user friendly. Now the flipper, if you don't clear that flipper, if you do push button, you're going to hit it. So you got to make sure you follow through. It's definitely a light switch, right? And then the front flipper works really nicely. You can easily just front flip that puppy all day long. And then reverse flicking works really nicely as well over here. I haven't been able to really get the reverse flicking because the clip is so far away. I haven't really been able to get a good handle on here, but it works well as far as that, and reverse flicking as well, and even using the hole up here. So that's what's made this one a lot of fun. Just a really nice, comfortable knife. The action is ridiculous. Great value for your money on this. The quality is superb. The next most carried, now this one probably is going to fall up here and maybe even become number one next month, but this is my Tuya Knives. So this is Tuya Knives. This is the Envy version 4. It's a Dave Warren design. And this aluminum infused carbon fiber inserts you can see on both sides. Just really gorgeous. It looks great in the sun. The lighting in here probably captures that a little bit. And I have O-rings that I put around the thumb studs just because I thought it made it nice. They aren't volcano thumb studs, if you notice. And they had a little channel for this, and it worked really well because I had these for my TRM Adam, and at one time I had a Chris Reeve Umnums on, and I had these on there, and they work nicely. But when you deploy this, another sheep's foot, you can see that, just beautiful blade there, and crazy enough, this one right here, I don't know if you can see that, this is S90V. So this is S90V steel, super edge retention, steel, I mean, hard to sharpen, no doubt, it's definitely a challenge to sharpen, but once you sharpen it, that edge is really beautiful. And I leather strop this regularly just to keep that edge, so I don't have to come back to sharpening it. But again, another beautiful one. I did put Skiff cage ceramic ball bearings in here, and man, boy, just wonderful, 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 wonderful. The action is ridiculous. It is drop shut, and as drop shut, there's no blade play. It's solid in there, just locked up really well. Another mill deep carry clip. I just like the design. Now it's contoured. These aren't as smooth and soft as some of the other ones, but it's still very comfortable. Very comfortable, no hot spots. None of this is sharp, so I like that a lot. This is a lot of fun, this knife. Really enjoyed that. Now, this is the one that's been a lot of fun lately. This is it's a Pena X Series knife. It's a collab between Enrique Pena and Javi Garcia. So I think Javi Garcia did most of the design working with Enrique Pena, and it was released through him. I'm sure Enrique had some hands-on and design flow on this, but Javi kind of did most of this from what I gather. But what I can tell you is that the scales, the way they work toward the thumb studs, it is by far one of the most enjoyable designs in a long time. I really like this. I've had knives that lead your thumb, like my CJR Pirate. That one really, you can't almost fail that with the thumb stud deployment. But here, again, it's just a beefy, wonderful, contoured, chamfered all the way around side knife. But when you follow this channel, it's just a beautiful deployment. Just like in the back here, the channel, follow that. Of course, trying to do that, it just deploys really, really nicely. And then the front flipper works really great as well. Great, great action. I did put skiff cage ceramic bearings. I think I might have said that, but if I didn't, I did. Made this action even better. It was a little gritty when I first got it, and I'm sure cleaning it out would have probably helped, but I've been using this knife a lot. This is definitely a user for me. You can see I've already got some scuff marks and stuff from carrying it and using it, so really, really nice. And M390 blade steel. You can see there's a Pena X Series stuff on there, and then you can see Javi Garcia's little logo here in M390. But it's comfortable. You know, this mill clip doesn't dig in. Everything's rounded. Works really great. This is almost like a bolstered to the frame lock a little bit. So if your hand is up here, so like if you're up here and you want to do that, it's easy. Or if you want to reverse flick, you can just put your hand right up there and, oops, get just your hand right up there and just, of course, doing this on camera, reverse flick. It works really nicely. I don't know why I suddenly went brain dead on how to deploy a knife. Sorry about that. But anyways, it's very, very, very fun, fidgety fun. And it's just got some great weight to it. You know, it's not a whole lot of milling on the inside. And I don't mind that. The weight is just solid. Just makes you feel like it's really robust user knife. The next one is this CMB Knives. It's CMB Made Knives, I believe they're called. I found this on White Mountain Knives. And this is S35 VN steel. It is titanium frame lock with carbon fiber inserts, which is really nice. The inserts have been cut out, and you can't really see it in there, but the milling is this full insert goes in there. You know, it's got some blacked out hardware on here. Very, very flat, pointy kind of spear. It's not a spear point, more like a drop point, I guess. But it's very, very thin edge coming all the way down. And it's not a long edge, it's a very short edge. So you got to be careful. I'm saying this is going to be 22 to 25 degrees. I would like to reprofile this at some point, I think, to have a little longer edge, maybe get it down to 20 degrees. I think that would be nice. But works really well. The action is fantastic. Haven't had to switch out any of the ball bearings because the action was perfect right out of the pocket. Deploys really nicely. Of course, you got to get your finger in there. The fuller works really well. Very fidgety. Doesn't have any chamfering or jimping, on the flipper, but works wonderful. So I've enjoyed this one a lot. I like it. Not a bad knife. And of course, an old faithful that we got a long time ago. This is the CJRB feldspar. It's the large feldspar. When I got it, I did not know it was going to be big. This is huge. But man, this is so much fun. It's very thin. Blade edge is thin. It comes to a crazy sharp edge. Super sharp, but it's super thin. So it's a slicer. Just really, really a pleasure to use this knife and carry this knife. As thin as it is, it's got this beautiful milling on the back, but this red fat carbon scale, I love that. I love red fat carbon, so it makes it a good Friday knife, you know, because when I wear or carry something red on Fridays to support our U.S. military troops, I like doing that with this one. I have red fat carbon fiber on a Shaman, and I also have it on a Enrique Pena Mula, and so really, really nice. Oh, I also have it on a TRM Atom. Really like that kind of red fat carbon scales. Really nice. And the action is just ridiculous. You know, it deploys with the thumb studs really nicely for being such a huge, thin blade. And then the action is just really wonderful. I did replace these with skiff bearings as well, and that certainly helped. Made it really, really, really nice. And just fun. I mean, and it just fits so wonderfully in here. So these are my top 5 carries for the last period, I guess since part of January, most of January, maybe into February. So what are yours? What are the knives you've been carrying? Feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys what they are. Love to hear your reaction to some of these knives if you have. I know they've been dropping more of these, and so those are really cool. I think they still have a few more of these, and you can find them at some retailers like White Mountain Knives and other places. Kunwoo is knocking it out. Really wonderful. This was a surprise. The CMB, I think it's kind of a sleeper. I'm enjoying it. I like the aesthetic personally. To me, it kind of speaks to me. And then the feldspar, this one. I mean, by the way, this is M390 steel, if you didn't know that. M390. So, I mean, this is a premium steel. Really, really nice for what you get here. It's like an exclusive White Mountain Knives version of this one. I would definitely check that out as well. But I would love to hear from you guys. What are yours? What are your thoughts on these? And if you like or don't like them. And hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content and you want to see other contents and enjoy it more in the future, would you help me out by hitting the like and subscribe button? That helps me to know that you do, and it helps me to keep making more. And then maybe hit the notification button so you can be notified of them. Also, if you like this content, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. That's robs_nerdy_knives over on Instagram. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.